And we're recording.
Hello.
Grace is back.
I'm back.
I'm back, guys.
Guys, are you guys ready for that Indiana Jones movie coming out June 30th? Indiana Jones.
What do you think it's going to be about? More
Everybody
Nazis?
keeps that. Hey!
More people that look like me?
Police stuff?
Seisen! Seisen!
Oh, no, Cody, no.
We should definitely do a podcast
What?
where I'm dressed as a Nazi officer.
You gonna get your shit banned, don't.
And what would you dress up as?
As my goddamn self.
That would be it.
You know what?
That'd be hilarious.
We could do I could go into the future. We should do me going back into the past.
Oh,
visited, what would Grace do? Because everybody made a hashtag called "What Would Gracie Do?"
No way.
Yeah, it's a hashtag going on. So
Uh-uh.
I thought about getting some bracelets, and I want to do segments where I go
Everybody
back
look
in
at
time.
this. This is a hilarious cup.
You are a great brother.
You're a great brother, probably the best brother ever. Believe me, no one knows brothers like I do. To say there's a better brother is fake news. You're great. So great. Very special. Love you, my brother.
Why does him and Wayne Newton have the same haircut?
Well, they both lived in Vegas for a long time.
Oh, I didn't even know he
You know what I mean?
lived in Vegas. Shout out to
Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton, right?
Yeah, the Wayne Newton, Mr. Vegas himself.
Remember Vegas Vacation?
Yes, and he soon
Wayne
to Miss
Newton
Greenwald.
seduced his Chevy Chase's wife.
Yes, he did. That was, and she's like, la, 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 la.
She hit that note.
Yes, she did.
For Wayne Newton,
Man,
she'll hit whatever
Wayne Newton
note.
was Donka Shane, my darling Donka Shane. And don't think
What's
we
that
got
great-
that off
that's
of
such a great song.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Remember when he did it in the parade?
Donku
It's
Shay.
Donka, Danka, and Shane.
I know.
I
Donna
love
Shay.
Donka
All right.
Shane.
How do you spell it?
Dank. And then it's space. Yeah, right there. SCHOEN because it's German.
Oh, wow. And what does it mean?
Thank you.
Oh, it means thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrics.
Picture shows second balcony.
Okay, so let's start from the top. Donka Shay,
my
darling Donka Shay.
Shane.
Thank you for all the joy and pain.
Picture shows second balcony.
Keep going. You're doing way better than me.
Was the place we meet. Second seat. Go Dutch Street. You were sweet. Donka Shane. Darling Donka Shane. Save those lies, darling, don't explain. I recall Central Park and fall, how you tore your dress, what a mess. I confess, that's not all. Donka Shane. I am a Wayne
Look
Newton
at you.
fan,
Yeah, you
okay?
are. Yeah, you are.
Love you, Wayne.
Wayne.
Y'all
Is
shout
he
out to-
still alive?
Yes, he does. And he still wear them same cowboy boots.
Wow.
But I don't know if he's still at Casa Shenandoah.
81.
Hell yeah, with his fine ass. He got Arabian horses, y'all.
Look
You
at him
know
now after
nothing.
losing all his money. No.
Wayne Newton was worth like $100 million.
Look at that dude.
He was the pro.
After losing all his money, had ties to the mob.
Okay, wait a minute. Do you know the story of Wayne
And he
Newton?
really likes exotic animals?
Hold on, yeah, because okay. Don't get mad at me, Wayne Newton. All this is going to be alleged, but we know some of this is facts. But I'm going to say allegedly. Do you know how he got famous?
No.
Howard Hughes. When he was in Vegas, when he was young, he'd been in Vegas since he was 8. He started off as a country singer, and
Was
they
he
were living-
country?
Yeah, he's from Virginia, and he came and
That's wild.
and him and his brother were singing when they were kids. And what happened was Howard Hughes took a special interest in him and invested his money in him. And then when he got a little older, he started singing at the Sands and all this stuff famous. He ended up becoming Mr. Vegas himself.
Right, yeah.
So what ended up happening was how he got tied up allegedly with all the mob and all that. Because
Yeah.
the story of Howard Hughes. Maybe some of y'all are too young, but we could talk about that. Remember when
Yeah.
he locked himself up in that penthouse and they found him and all his nails and all that?
Yeah, pissing in jars and shit?
Yeah, y'all, that's one hell of a story. But back to him. Wayne Newton, he invested money in Wayne Newton, but he didn't fool with Wayne Newton. He didn't fool with nobody. And he got famous. Oh, yeah, who was it? Bobby Darin would write songs.
Bobby Darin.
And that was supposed to have been a song. Donka Shane was supposed to be for Bobby Darin. But Bobby Darin gave it to him, and that was his first #1 hit at 21.
Dang, look at him.
Donka Shane. Yes, look at him.
Isn't that
when he performed at the Sands. Y'all don't know nothing about the Sands. That was way before y'all time. It used to only be the Sands and the Flamingo back in the day. And the Flamingo was found by Bugsy Siegel.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't play with me about my history about
That's wild. I mean, going back to that lifestyle of like that during that time period and like it's just Vegas, and it's pretty crazy.
Y'all tag Wayne Newton and say he got a black protege.
Yeah.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
That's right. It's Memorial Day weekend.
Casa
Let's figure out
Shenandoah.
what we're supposed to be Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the video about he wasn't... Okay, so basically, he ended up owing money to the mob, allegedly. He ended up turning his house into a museum and was supposed to sell, allegedly, Casa Shenandoah.
Right.
He got accused for animal mistreatment. That ain't funny, because he would leave some, allegedly, the penguins in diapers.
Yeah, he loved those exotic animals.
He loved his animals, y'all. He didn't mistreat them. And then he spent all his money investing in Arabian horses. Arabian horses are like the most expensive horses in the world.
Yeah.
They're like, you get an Arabian horse, you see anybody with they got money. They hide. That's how you hide your money in animals, especially horses. The state can't take no damn horse. What they gonna do with the horse? That's how he was hiding his money in Arabian horses. That's why he had Casa Shenandoah. If you notice, he had more Arabian. That's so rich back in the day.
Dang, I didn't know that was a way to.
That's how you hide money in a lot of things. You can hide money in cemeteries, horses. What the hell? The IRS go come that day with a badge because they can come.
Wow.
They're letting the IRS agents have guns now. I don't know if y'all know that. So if you owe money and you fight with them, they can use deadly force.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
But they train them now as officers. That's what they are. They come to seize your property. They're not there to negotiate a tax bill. They come with the police that have, or sheriffs that have guns. And they come and they repossess your cars. That's what they're for. They're supposed to F you up for not paying taxes. So how people back in the day will hide their money.
Yeah.
Would be in exotic animals, especially horses. You can always take a horse and take it to a racetrack to hide it.
That's crazy.
And people would buy them back. That was like the underground way. Instead of taking everything overseas, you could put some money overseas. But Wayne Newton was smart.
Yeah, he was.
He fucked with Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes, I think that's another mystery thing. I felt like they was messing with him. He knew too much. He was one of the biggest people in aviation back in the day, in aerospace. But he had the ties with like the science. With science and aerospace. But how Wayne Newton allegedly had, back to that really quick, why he had alleged ties with the mob. You got to remember, Vegas was started by the mob.
Yeah.
And not bringing up the mob, shout out to the mob. I ain't got no money. Don't come after me, allegedly. But they everywhere. They're in construction. They're in anything with unions. They're in buildings. They run 90% of anything that has to be built from the ground up.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how Vegas was started and how it was ran by the mob for a long time, and how the Rat Pack, had connected with the mob.
That's where all the money.
You know what's crazy is Jay Leno was on Joe Rogan's podcast a few years back, and he was talking about when he was performing stand-up for the mob in Vegas. Yeah. He used to perform stand-up for him.
But that's
the
greatest.
That was the thing. And Jay Leno, I mean, geez,
that's why the residencies back in the day were so big. Yeah. People didn't know that's how you... They run
Jay Leno's 73.
Oh, yeah.
So let's think, when he was 20, that was 50 years ago, so in the 70s. So 73. Yeah.
Because
70,
think about it, bringing up Andy Kaufman, love Andy Kaufman, may he rest in peace. You really think they wanted to deal with Andy Kaufman shenanigans?
Right.
Andy Kaufman, that's the biggest jokester.
Yeah, you think about it, like certain people...
They wasn't dealing with that.
Yeah, certain people could have that role as what is it called when you have a
class act?
No. When you're a performer at a Vegas casino,
a class act. It's like because it's supposed to be like a luxury.
Yeah, but it's called something. You're doing a tenure,
residency.
Residency. That's it. So when you're doing a residency, you got to be able to shake hands and smooth over.
You have to be there. You have to do 3 shows a day.
But you got to be able to have conversations with these types of people
all the time, like Donnie and Marie Osmond. Come on, they had to keep that money going because remember back in the day they were in competition with the Jacksons. They had to. They whole protege was off the Jacksons. So then when they got older, Donnie and Marie had to keep that going with the old time religion. And back then, I'm not saying I know everything about hiding money. Okay, but I will give you guys some advice.
Yeah.
Vegas
horses.
The best way. Let's say if you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
You have to think about and use your common sense. I'm gonna stop being goofy for 1 minute. Now I'm gonna tell everybody this. Don't be listening to everybody on Instagram giving you financial advice because there was this one guy.
I mean, that's just dumb to begin with.
Oh, but sometimes they be right, but they wrong.
Yeah, like half right,
half wrong. And remember, you can't speak about financial stuff and tell people okay, there's a thing going around if you give somebody $60,000 as a one-time gift, you could do it as a tax write-off. You can't use them old school tactics no more. That's not how it works, and it depends by state. So you have to think common sense wise. Like, I'm going to teach you how to think like a criminal really quick. This is how you think. The IRS have agents.
Yeah.
That is their job, to come. And if you owe them people money, they're going to come with people. Now they can carry guns. Like I said, back then, they were in suits.
Yeah.
They were a little bit aggressive. They brought the law with them. And if they wanted that boat, you was either going to take lead in the ass. And this is not alleged, because they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So how people like the mob and all of them will hide their money, they have to, when the IRS agents come, they have to take that off your property. Okay, it's easy to take a boat.
Yeah.
It's easy to take a yacht. It's easy to take a car. You can get a tow person to come get that. Well, where the hell you going to put 7 Arabian horses? Arabian horses are unique horses, and they're high. They're like out owning a Porsche. Yeah. So you have to think, what could the mob, how could you hide your money? You have to think. And
that's how you figure out crazy shit like that. Oh, put it in a horse.
Put it in a horse. Put it in animals. You think the IRS federal agent really gonna take a shitty horse off your property?
Well, now they will, because they're listening to this podcast.
That's fine. They always do. Netflix listen to us too. A lot of people do. Yeah, we might not be rich just yet, but you give us about another year. You gonna see Bud Light. Could you please sponsor us?
I'll dress up like a woman.
You do whatever fuck you want to do. Hell yeah, you roll me some money. I'll dress up like a whole turtle with some nunchucks, whooping Cody's ass if you pay me enough. You pay me and Cody enough, we'll have a DVR that. We're gonna have Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Hell yeah.
There. Me and him will have a ladder match. I'll put on my cowboy boots and call it the Dangerous Cowgirl.
The Dangerous Cowgirl.
You understand me? But point being, if you're gonna hide your money, cemeteries, churches.
Guys, if you're listening to anything,
not
you take away anything from this.
Not inside the damn graves, dumbasses. Like, and then you have to know the law about exhuming bodies. Think certain states is 50 years after 50 years, and there's no family there really. You can start removing the bodies in certain states.
So when I text you and you're up at 2 a.m., this is what you're researching.
Not all the time, Cody. Like,
I know the other half is you're researching our family tree.
Yes, our family. We and Cody are related.
Apparently so.
We are, Cody.
Did we own you at one point?
Probably did. I don't know. But back to the
wouldn't that be hilarious?
What?
If at some point we went back far enough to where your ancestors were owned by my ancestors.
You know what would be crazy?
We're literally related. So,
I'm gonna tell you how I know for a fact.
But wouldn't that be funny though? I think it's hilarious. Because you and I both had nothing to do with it, and yet that happened. It's like if we went back far enough.
But you gotta remember the South. You gotta remember the South was prevalent, because Annapolis is in South Carolina, ain't it?
Annapolis? That's Maryland.
No, there's another Annapolis.
Where the Navy is?
That's the main hub. But you gotta remember how the slave trade went. Annapolis is another Annapolis is in South Carolina. I think.
You mean Kannapolis?
It's Kannapolis. There you go. There's Annapolis and Kannapolis, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, and you got to remember.
Kannapolis, North Carolina, actually.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, I was kind of somewhat right, but you got to remember all them slave boats and all that, and then you got to remember not all slave owners. Some slave owners fell in love with their me and Cody's situation. I got it somewhat figured out, but my grandmother, I did not know. Make the long story short, how me and Cody's related. I'm related to Cody on my grandmother's side. Me and Cody share a paternal grandfather, and how I figured it out was this. I was searching Cody's...
This is going to be a 30-minute conversation, by the way.
I'll keep it short. My grandmother's father is white, and his name was Leonard. Leonard King, okay? He was a white man. I didn't even know he was white. Didn't know what he was. And what happened was the Kings were a prevalent family back in colonial times and slave times. They owned a lot of slaves. Their last name is King. It's a very rare...
Yeah.
Not too many people have that name. This man named John Henderson King... Right? That is my fourth paternal grandfather. I found the bill of sale and everything. He had a baby by his slave named Sarah. And Sarah died, and they had a son, and his name was Richard, and he named him Dick. Now, John...
Richard or just Dick?
Called him Dick on the paperwork. Okay, I'm going to tell you how we're related.
Yeah.
John Henderson King had a bunch of daughters and a little bit of boys.
Okay.
Those daughters are from Orange, North Carolina.
That's right.
In Mecklenburg, North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's where the Kings are mostly prevalent to this day, like the King family back in the day, all that stuff. He had more girls than he had boys. They married cousins that were Lowe's.
Yeah.
And I had to figure that out. Like, how am I related to Cody? Let me tell you that part. So when I did a family tree on your dad's side, I ended up being related to you by your grandmother, Miss Shaw. Mm-hmm. And the Shaws were married to some Kleins. So I'm related to you on my grandfather that is on my mom's side and my grandmother's side on my dad's side. So I'm double related to you. So how I figured it out when I did when you go on Ancestry and you do a DNA test, a lot of people don't notice. If you make a family tree, and you don't even have to be, the person ain't even got to take a test. If you do a family search on somebody and connect them to your tree, it'll find a cousin that took a test that you did a family tree on someone else. And that's, we ended up being related through a cousin. Like I had a sixth cousin that was a Lowe that was related to Aaron and Miss Dorothy Shaw. So I was related to you through Dorothy. I traced it through Dorothy. Dorothy. And we ended up sharing a grandfather on the Shaws that were, a grandmother was a Klein.
Damn. That's wild.
So that's how I figured out me and Cody was related. So it's technically, even some of your relatives, they didn't even own. Let me tell you what I learned about your family. They didn't even own nobody. They were mostly bankers, farmers. They came here and they had money from when they came over from the little research I did do. When they came over from Britain, and some of them came in 1750. They were mostly they already had money where they were from, and they brought their money over here and they got into farming. But what they did was they got into real estate and banking. They really didn't own. They mostly owned cattle and they farmed. They were already kind of into all that, but they didn't own nobody. I was trying to find a bill of sale.
I mean, not many people actually owned slaves.
No, that was actually a
in
luxury.
The South.
No, that's a fact.
That's something that is missed out here. They're like, oh, everybody from the South.
And that's not true.
It's like, no, you actually had to be pretty wealthy to own slaves. It's like,
that's just,
like, hold on, you think that's cheap? Owning people?
It's not. And that's just like people down south.
Food's expensive.
That's just like being.
What do you think owning a person would be like?
Yeah, and you had to be a captain of a boat back then because with the British colonial not bringing up slavery and all that.
Really?
But you have to know, because those are captains. They have to bring the load over. That's why the early colonials, there's captain. If you look at some people family trees, on my mom's side, all three sides, Bibb County, Virginia is named after my fifth paternal great-grandfather, Mr. William Bibb. And William Harris, Captain William Harris, he was part of the Revolution. He was a captain over in Britain, and he owned some folks.
Yeah.
Now, I was just saying, then when you brought the people over and you bought the people off the block, and that's terrible, bought the people off the block, that's how you started getting into slavery. And then when you died, like with Dick, back to my great-grandfather Dick. When my fourth paternal grandfather ended up dying, he ended up selling Dick to one of my uncles. He sold his own son to his brother. And what ended up happening, I didn't know that my grandfather, Richard, he looked more white. So when I did research on Richard, he was mixed race. So what he did, they freed him. His brother freed him. He was passing for white, and he married a woman that was his cousin named Nancy King. They lived in Alabama, and he owned a couple of slaves.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, some of his kids, the first 5 of them, which his oldest son, Bartley, that's my second paternal great-grandfather. That's Leonard's father. They were all passing for white because they kept marrying a white woman.
Yeah.
And when Leonard met my great-grandmother, who was mixed race, they kept mixing with people that were half white, half black, but looked mostly white. They owned a lot of people. So Dick went from being a slave to owning slaves from his father's plantation. He sold him to his brother.
Yeah.
But he married one of his nieces.
Oh, okay.
He married John Jr. daughter Nancy in Alabama.
Isn't that crazy? That shit used to be cool.
Yeah, marrying your first cousin.
Yeah. That's cool.
But they didn't own nobody. He ended up being a machinist and moved down to Arkansas. And Nancy died. They had 17 kids.
Yeah.
And all their kids were either school teachers, piano teachers, or they were into agriculture. But they ended up owning general stores. When it came down to my great-grandfather Leonard, who had my grandmother Grace, he was actually I tripped on that because to me, my grandmother's black. She never mentioned she had a white father. Yeah. Now, y'all got to remember, my grandmother was born in 1907. My dad was born in 1929. I have an older parent. So my grandfather, black people were not train conductors.
No.
They weren't. He was a train conductor for the Union Pacific Railroad in Arkansas. And it said that on the 19th. And I said, what black person going around line saying they work? But I thought the man was black the whole time. He was white. And my grandmother was mulatto. My great-grandmother's mulatto. So my grandmother and my uncle, one of my uncle, her brother, Henry, passed for white because he's mostly white. And he was a school teacher. But I'm related to you technically on both sides.
Damn, that's crazy.
Man, Ancestry's messy. That's why you got to be careful when you upload yourself. The police are using people's DNA to solve murders too.
That's why
you'll get a. So if your cousin Jeffrey Dahmer Jr. been chopping up people, you gonna get that call. Hey, Jawakatima.
Yeah.
You like I be watching 48-hour mysteries. I'm old school with it. I love me some 48 hours. There was this one lady like, yeah, I was at Whole Foods buying dark chocolate cherries. Mine just talking just like that. And I got a call saying I had a second cousin that was murdered in the back of a Popeye's chicken dumpster.
Oh, shit.
And I never knew anything about her. And they said because I was closely familiar, that's not funny, y'all, related to her because her torso was in the dumpster. They used my 23andMe DNA to find out who the murderer was. And it was actually my great uncle's daughter. His granddaughter that was murdered, so he had a bastard child.
Wow.
And she was murdered by her own dad.
Thank God for
23andMe. And also, my uncle was part of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
You know? And that's another mystery, too. Nobody's never figured out who the hell Jack the Ripper.
You know what?
That's another mystery in its own.
I kind of wish I could have some conversations with serial killers.
You can.
Well, yeah, eventually.
I mean, you probably, let me tell you a secret about
Probably
us.
have.
That's what I was going to tell you.
So that's the crazy thing, right? So back then, there was no real police work for DNA shit.
Not at all.
You had to literally see somebody kill somebody and be like, oh, that's the guy.
Black
You know what I
Dahlia,
mean?
that's a good example. Like
Yeah.
you talk to a serial killer
Like
every
so
day.
many people got away with murder back then.
But could you really describe the mindset of a serial killer, Cody?
No, I couldn't because I'm just not thinking about that all the time.
No, I know you're not.
But it would be interesting to have a conversation with somebody. And you know, all those Ted Bundy, Dahmer, whatever, those videos on death row with what's that Christian guy that does those videos?
Oh, I do not know, but
Death Row, Ted Bundy interview. Dodson?
yeah.
It was Dodson, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, he was a Scorpio?
Paul Dawson. I think Paul Dawson. But anyways, you see those videos and you're like, well, you know, it seems like he's
Okay.
nice.
Well, can
But
I ask
then
you
you
something?
know that he's I feel like what traps you as a serial killer is you're literally doing whatever you need to survive and kill.
Okay.
Just like an alcoholic. They're doing literally whatever they need to do to get by and then drink. Any addiction you have, right, is all right, cool. Yeah, I'm good. All right. And then you find the time to do the addiction or whatever. And it's like, that's just one that you can't fuck around with. Like, you can't be like, you know what? He's a reformed serial killer. He's over that. He's not addicted to it anymore. He'll think about it every once in a while. But, you know, he's a good guy.
Okay.
We've been hanging out. We've actually gone to a couple films together.
Yeah, and he ain't chopping no. But can I tell you something? If you pull up
And then
up
he
the
stabs you in the
images-
back.
Hold on, but pull up all the images of the serial killers. My dad used to always tell me, be careful of the people whose eyes are too close together. Them nearsighted fuckers.
Hey, man.
Are you nearsighted, Cody? If you look at Ted Bundy, look at that picture of him. That's a nearsighted son of a bitch. Them nearsighted people. Look at him. No, seriously. If you look at all the serial killers, look at him.
Oh.
John Wayne Gacy, nearsighted motherfucker. That damn, he didn't even really kill nobody. He just coerced people to be butt naked and kill. But
Dahmer.
look at all of them. Nearsighted motherfucker. Goddamn me. Look at, so I bet y'all be at work now looking at your nearsighted coworker.
Wow.
Look at them.
I never heard. Your dad said that?
Yeah, but look at them. On them serial killers had to wear glasses. They were some nearsighted fuckers. Look how close their eyes are together. Motherfuckers look at him.
Is that Gacy?
That ain't Gacy.
No.
That's you probably want to look at their eye. Look at they all wear glasses. How you go kill somebody? You can't see no goddamn body. That's probably why blood get everywhere in their side of fucker. Or just hold still. That's probably the only one that has sense. And I'm not saying you got to have sense to kill nobody, but if you look at every single one of them.
Right.
Sometimes it do got a lot to do with your background. But my daddy always said, like, and I used to think he was joking. But you probably thinking, no, all nearsighted people ain't crazy.
That's the only thing I'm taking away from this podcast today.
Well, let me tell you something right now. Look at all them serial killers.
Yeah.
And I bet you when you go to work on Tuesday after y'all 3-day weekend,
be sizing up all your coworkers.
Man, you better leave Randy alone with them double bifocals and give him a snicker, and y'all, you not yourself.
Yeah, poor Randy.
Let me tell you something. But it's true. Like, look at him. That motherfucker happy.
He's happy to kill.
And I'm like this. People say, "Well, how do you know the mind of a serial killer?" Let me tell you my experience, because I'm not gonna go deep into it. But I had a friend growing up, and he snapped and killed his parents.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I ain't gonna get deep into that. But he killed his parents, and before there's always warning signs.
Yeah.
In my research, why I study serial killers so much.
Yeah.
Is because I grew up around people dying around me all day.
Right.
Dying around me.
From murder.
Just from murders. Because I lived in, gangbangers. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's a difference between, well, there ain't no difference. A killer's a killer. Like, allegedly, like King Von. I'm just now learning that they're trying to say he was a prolific serial killer. The rapper, King Von. I don't think he was that. He was more on some gang shit. But to me, a prolific serial killer is a person that targets a certain group of people, of course. And it's a sick, sadistic way. Like, yeah, killing is sick and sadistic, but a serial killer.
There's levels, it seems.
It is. And it's like you see the warning signs. Like, this person I knew, and I don't care if they family hear me or not. I'm so sorry. But this isn't alleged. Like, he was stabbing his brother in the head with forks. Like, you see signs of the.
As a kid.
Now, as a grown ass man, like, we was sitting on the couch, nigga stabbed his brother, excuse me for using the word, stabbed his brother dead in the damn head with a fork. Like, they was just fighting, and he just went. You see the signs with psychotic people. You start seeing cryptic messages, like telling people what would it be like to put people out their misery. Like, when a person starts killing, they have like what they call it, I call them death angel killers. Like, people death that angels. Feel like the ones that feel like people, if they're in pain, they'll kill them.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they feel like it's something in their misery.
Right.
And then pay attention, not to be mean, if they ain't a nurse and a person taking care of this person.
Yeah.
Why everybody around them popping up dead? Like, you got to pay attention. That goes back to the last podcast we were talking about.
Yeah, that's a thing, right?
You got to pay attention to people in the environment and how people talk to you and how people treat you.
Like, think about the power that you're holding when someone's dying in your family or a friend of yours or whatever, and then you are the sole caretaker, and you're like, you know what? If I don't feed them their medicine,
yes,
they're going to die.
Yeah.
And then, that person's life might be in shambles, or they might not be happy, or they might have some regret.
And that's why it's important to have mental evaluations where anybody dealing with it. It's prevalent.
And then they just use that power. What is it? Power doesn't corrupt you. It just kind of exposes you.
Yes, your vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Kevorkian back in the day.
Yeah,
he was
Kevorkian.
You don't know Jack, played by Al Pacino, good movie. But Dr. Kevorkian was the first person to, because I don't think we can say the word on
assisted
YouTube.
Suicide.
Yeah, but I call it deletion because I think it's certain words you can't use. Deletion, like delete it.
Oh,
because
wow.
It's certain.
Deletion.
Because you can't, there's certain words on YouTube.
But that's the word that people have used for this?
On YouTube, yeah, because
deletion.
You can't use that word.
Because that is such a
self-deletion.
Yeah, that's
technically
almost like
what you're doing, but they don't want
so
to.
Inhumane in the
I know.
in that. You know what I mean?
I know, but
isn't that crazy?
My thing is, I'm trying to make sure
self-deletion. No, I know what you're doing.
You know, you got to be careful with YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTubers and how that person had that word self. You can't put words like people don't understand. Let me tell you something. Not bringing up TikTok. A lot of people don't get banned on TikTok like that because the U.S. does not own TikTok. Hold on, let me just get that real
weird,
quick.
Right?
Because they don't give a damn. If it was in the U.S. and half of the stuff that's on TikTok would have got shut down a long time ago. That's why it's getting harder to shut down TikTok because U.S. don't own it. They have the rights from the FCC to ban it in certain areas. But that's why when you're on YouTube, y'all, and you ever plan on having a podcast or doing something like that, you got to look at the keywords. They will mute you for certain words.
Yeah.
But back to Dr. Kevorkian. So that's why I have to say alleged, self-deletion. My words going to get a little wordplay going to be going around.
You'll be spelling words.
I do.
Like last podcast?
L-L-I-K. Lick. You already know what that word is. Or red rum.
Mm-hmm.
You already know red.
Oh, yeah.
So point being, he was the first person, and I felt like because he dealt in a time where people were in agony with polio and tuberculosis. I think when he got older, and he was older when he started coming up with assisted self-deletion, and I'm sorry for using that word. It's just, I don't want you to.
Don't want to get banned here.
Yeah, we don't want that. So he felt in his heart he could help. But I felt like he was the first person to open that door. It isn't open in the Well, I think I heard in Sacramento you can go out there and do it now. But in Canada, I think you could do it out there. But self-deletion, he was the one that was going into people that was in critical hospice, like people with cancer, people with mental health issues. And I'm like this. The reason why I'm not, some people don't like it, because some people like, well, that's selfish for a person to do that. Look, we don't know. Pain is pain. And I ain't saying it make it right, but you don't know what somebody going through. That's like if you stub your toe, I ain't comparing it to it, but when people are going through something, I feel like try to talk it out with them the best way you can.
I have a friend whose family member did assisted suicide in Canada, because that's part of what they're doing. Yeah.
Are they going to do it?
Last week.
They did it?
Yeah. Family member.
No.
I know.
No, Cody.
Sad.
That's made me sad.
It's really sad. She's going through a lot right now, yeah. Sister.
Was her sister sickly?
She had terminal cancer.
Sweet merciful Jesus.
So she was suffering, and it wasn't going to, the cancer wasn't going to change, right?
Have mercy.
But she chose that, and yeah, that's a tough thing. I've witnessed her go through it, and it's got to be the toughest.
It's the tough. Like I don't mean to down the podcast. What I would like to do when I'm on here, I like to talk about reality.
Yeah.
Because I understand TikTok is a happy place where we bake cookies and dress up and pretend that bad things are happening outside. I feel like China knew what they was doing with that TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? Because okay, I'm gonna go old school a little bit. I'm a gore person. I used to watch Faces of Death.
Yeah, you were.
I used to go on live leaks and look at shit because I wanted to see how prevalent self-deletion was on the interwebs. You understand what I'm saying? Live leaks, it went up. That's why they had to ban it.
I'd never heard of live leaks.
Live leaks was a place where they would pay you for assistant, deletion videos.
Oh,
like
wow.
the first video when we were working at Enterprise, when we were working there, how I heard about live leaks, there was a horrific Easter killing from this guy called the Easter Killer.
Dang.
And he, not to bring up the lady name, but we're going to change her name to Elaine, but everybody know that who he kept killing everybody in her name. He had mental illness real bad.
So everybody that was named as her.
Yeah, he was like, you know why you're going to die like this? Because of Elaine.
Oh, okay.
The first, and how I seen the first clip of it, somebody was posting it around Facebook. He was live on Facebook Live, knocking down people. Just watch what I'm about to do because of Elaine. You know why you about to die.
Yeah.
Live Leaks had the full Facebook Live video. That's why they got in trouble. People were literally they were the TMZ of gore.
Yeah.
You send them something that was going around, like that one boy, bless his heart, that got decapitated on the Batman ride. You can see any video CCT of something an urban legend that you thought on Live Leaks.
Yeah.
When I Googled everything I thought that didn't exist, like, no, this was true about this kid head getting cut off. Man, Live Leaks. Yeah. I said, this place, the world is sick, man.
Yeah,
like,
it really
is. But that's how I saw the first Easter killers. And then the Chris Donner, the black cop that was here, that was killing. That was another big thing back in the day. They had footage of him at that cabin tearing everybody up at Big Bear, deleting everybody up at Big Bear. But I was just saying.
I got a question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was talking to somebody, a friend of mine, a couple years ago, and she went and saw a plastic surgeon for Botox.
Okay.
Right? And she was like, there's something hot about a plastic surgeon.
Okay, what's the question?
And I'm like, okay, interesting. And I was like, what is it? And she was like, the confidence that a man has to have to be like, you know what? I'm going to cut your face and make you look better. And I was like, damn, I never thought about that because, you know, I'm not into dudes, one, and definitely not into plastic surgeons. But, like, I get that. And there's also, like, a quality of, like, I get that confidence, but, like, you're just one step away from being a serial killer, I feel like.
I was about to go there.
But have you ever thought about that?
Cody, my mind, let me tell you something about my mind. I get told this all the time. I am not a criminal.
Yeah.
But if you ever get on my serious side and you get to know me, I even had a Nigerian, shout out to Metronomy. He's a good friend of mine over in Nigeria. He's a ghostwriter for big.
Okay. Comedians?
No, for famous songwriters over in
okay.
Nigeria and Europe and all these people over there. One of his crossover hits was this guy named WizKid. The song is called Essence. He ghostwrote on that. And what happened was I was talking to him on a serious note, and he's like, "You have the mind of a criminal.
You have the mind of a criminal.
You are a criminal." Like even my sister, like, "You are a criminal." I don't have no felonies. I never robbed a bank.
Yeah.
The way my mind is, beside all that goofy shit,
yeah,
I can tell you, talking to a person, because me being goofy, the secret to me being goofy, why I play so much, people think I'm so crazy. They show me themselves.
Right.
And when I try to warn people about this person, oh, she's just crazy. You know, Grace crazy. She make up shit because she plays so much.
Right.
And then when shit start going down, how the fuck did you call it? Because that person literally literally would tell me, like, Cody, you even know that I go through the craziest shit because I play so much. Mm-hmm. And people, and I ain't gonna say allegedly, but
this is how a conversation with Grace usually goes with a new person. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, where you from? I'm from here. And they're like, oh, hey, Grace.
I killed dogs. Yeah.
Shit. And then all of a sudden, you're funny, Grace. I like getting pegged on Saturday night at 2 a.m. This is my address.
You saw that video of me throwing eggs on that man?
Yeah, I did.
Like, man, look, back to that real quick. And
Grace is like, yeah, I thought you was going to say something like that. It's about time. About 2 hours into this conversation, it finally opened up.
People really, but I never tell on the person. But it's funny because I can tell you I promise to God, like I could spot a serial killer because I watch it so much and I pay attention to the mannerisms of a person.
You think you've ever met one?
Of course.
Okay. Did you notice it when you met that person, or did it take some time?
They got comfortable with me and started. They went to jail for it. My friend.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one way to find out.
His parents.
Okay, right, that one. Yeah.
It was first I would see stuff, and he wasn't even on drugs yet. It was like he had a lot of anger when he stabbed his brother in front of us in the head with a fork.
Did it stick in?
Nah, he just was like
pulled it out and want to do it again.
Yeah, and he was like, "You're not gonna say nothing, are you?" It's like, hell no, I'm just gonna go outside.
Yeah, I'm good. I gotta take a smoke break. I don't smoke. I ain't gonna
tell you how I'm thinking. I'm not gonna tell you if I'm in a situation. I don't give a fuck. I'm like this. You ain't gotta worry about me saying shit. I don't give a fuck. I've never, God knock on wood.
That's how you survive.
I don't talk. People know that's.
But that's how you survive those situations.
Of course.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in the hood know one thing about me. You can tell me anything. I hold water. I don't give a damn if you told me you took a shit behind the dumpster at Popeyes and a rat told you to go inside. I'm not telling you. Yeah. I'm not telling nobody nothing. But because people be so comfortable with me, I could tell your ass some stories. But I feel like I can tell us like I could tell when people are gay. I could tell when someone's down low. I could tell when someone's a liar. I could tell when somebody about to go do some bullshit. I could tell an evil ass person. I could tell you if a person don't like me or they don't like the person around, because people show me themselves. Yeah. Because when people think you crazy, Cole, let me tell you something. How y'all start fishing people out. And if you don't forget nothing I ever tell you, you remember this. Act crazy with people.
Yeah.
Play crazy. Play like it's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
When a motherfucker feel like it's something wrong with you, I do it at every job I go to.
We're gonna have a bunch of retards running around after this podcast.
Don't say that word, the hard R where we're gonna get trouble. But
we are building a culture, a following of retards.
No, we're not.
It's gonna be hashtag act crazy. And people just gonna post some videos.
Because people gonna really start. What I mean, act crazy is.
No, I know.
Don't know because you gotta be literal, like with people. People literally take what you say. Don't bust nobody in the back of the head. Like,
just be goofy.
Goof
off. Don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah, like if I'm in a conversation, let's say like when we were at work.
But do you know how hard that is to do, Grace? It's a talent
to be goofy.
Yeah. To be goofy.
Oh my God,
See, Grace, you think being used normal, and
for me it is.
Well, yeah, it is, because you Grace.
It's so funny. We was working at our old job, and all the celebrities come. Like, shout out to Miss Ali Wong. I miss you and I love you. I used to see Miss Ali Wong all the time. I didn't know who's the hell she was. Everybody's like, Ali Wong, the famous comedian. Let me tell you something about Miss Ali Wong. I see Miss Ali every time she come in LA. She had an apartment, her and her husband. Her husband was in Groucho Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or something like that back in. I didn't know who the hell they were until I started, because I talked to everybody. I'm not starstruck like that.
Yep.
I know a lot of celebrities. I am not starstruck like that. And she was like, Grace, do you know what I do for a living? I said, you're probably a damn school teacher. I don't know. You make a lot. You sell drugs. You part of the Chinese mafia. What do you do? I don't want to know. Don't care. I did not know she was a famous comedian, because me and her husband and her would just sit down and just talk at the job. But point being, one day, we ain't gonna say his name, one of the membership advisors, he was like, so how do you know these people? He got so mad, he pulled me in the office with, we're gonna call Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob, you're always a butterfly. You think you know everybody, because there are some bodyguards that I know that works. Like, I know a bodyguard that works for the Jackson family. I knew him since I was a kid. Yeah. People come in Equinox was coming in there, and I knew them before that because I worked security. I used to work in places where there were a lot of famous people before I went there, so people do remember me. He's like, how do you know this person? Yeah. I said, why the hell do you care if I know this person? Right. So point being, they were like, my personality, people were at the front desk were complaining about it because they said, you're too vulgar. You play too much. I said, we had a meeting one day at work, and I'll never forget this. The company didn't have a problem with me. It was that front desk. And what they were complaining about, you're too vulgar. You cuss too much. And I said, y'all be up here putting false nails on in front of these people. Yeah. Eating fried chicken, putting y'all nasty ass, greasy hands on top of a table where somebody got to put their sweaty ass towel. And you got a problem with me talking about what slut you meeting up with next week? But you up here that's when COVID was really prevalent at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And I said, no, like that one girl that got, look, let me tell you about the grace of God and my goofiness. Do you know, somebody told me, God give me strength. They gave me COVID on purpose. Back when, let me tell you, remember the first time, there was a time back in 2019, we didn't even know what it was. I thought I had the flu really bad. Remember, I was out of work for like 3 months, and I kept having this chest infection really bad. So Courtney gave me some medicine. We didn't know what the hell it was. Yeah. And I kept getting the shit over because this nasty ass person kept getting COVID over. So when everything was dying down, you know what she did? We're going to go back to your question.
What's that?
She looked at me straight. I gave you COVID on purpose. I knew I had it, and I just wanted to spread it to everybody.
Mental people we know.
And she got a card. Let me tell you what I exactly told her. And I want y'all all to remember this as long as you live. You want to know why Grace be in a lot of fights? Because people tell me who they are. Right. And I said, are you going to record this? You pull your phone out, and I need you to record this word for word. And she know who she is. I said, if you ever tell me that off work again, that you intentionally try to kill me, because I felt like, because I damn near died. My heart was swollen. Yeah. All types of crazy shit. This before I even took that shot. I said, I'll beat your goddamn skull into the white meat. Yeah. And have you lived where there's a tube going down. You don't tell somebody. Yeah. Like it was sick the way that to me. To me, you know what I did? I sent her that, you want to know why you'll never get a nursing job? I sent her shit to the State Board of California, saying how much I think she's a mental sick fuck. And I didn't word sick fuck, but be aware of this person. But a lot of people don't. I'm not going to teach y'all all the tips and tricks, but
of destroying people's lives.
You want to why that nastiness? To me, that's a serial killer, because
that makes sense.
You knew you had COVID, and it didn't affect everybody different. It affected everybody differently. Yeah. You came to work intentionally knowing you had the shit. Yeah. There was a woman at our job. No, it was. I don't even want to bring that up, but they in the middle of a lawsuit. A lady lost her kid. She was pregnant with a kid. So you went around. Everybody kept getting spikes because of it. But point being, the plastic surgeon and all that. What I think about that. I don't want to say all plastic surgeons is like that, but I feel like if you get a joy out of cutting somebody.
Yeah, there's something, that's not a normal thing to be okay with. I don't
think that's normal at all. And
it's almost like, thank God for this vocation.
Oh, wait. And one more thing.
So that they don't become a serial killer.
Now listen to me, everybody. I want y'all to really listen to me. I got to tell somebody this. Please don't get your face done.
Hey, here's the thing.
Listen.
These women who want to,
Please.
There's nothing you can tell them.
No, I want to tell them why. There ain't no man. I don't care what nobody said. There ain't no man. Let me tell you something. There's a thing going around talking about people with BBL stink. You heard about that woman with BBL stink? Can I tell you why
Brazilian
BBL stink?
butt lift stink?
Yeah, like women stink when they have BBLs. Let me explain to you why your funky ass stinks. Because you ain't washing your ass.
Hold on. They don't know this?
A lot of people, it's a big old thing. People talking about people BBL stink. You have to get up in your hole. No, for real, they don't want me talking about it. When you get a BBL, ladies, ain't no man, first of all, don't no man want no wop-sided ass. I've never met a man that said, hey, bitch, that left cheek.
Real nice.
But that right cheek, none of that. Like, I'm going to say it. If you get a goddamn BBL, wash your goddamn asshole. You got to get up in your crack. There's a trend going around.
This is a trend?
Well, look at it. Talk about BBL stinking. There's people making videos like, I bent somebody over. It's your asshole. An asshole ain't going to always smell I don't mean to bring that up. See, look, Brazilian. I told you that. I noticed a couple of days.
Diaper booty.
Now, hold on.
Diaper booty.
Now, let me explain to you the difference between you having the procedure done 2 weeks after you get it done and months after you get it done. Your ass and your skin got cut on, so it's going to smell like an infected area because you got cut on. And you're not properly taking your antibiotics. You ain't cleaning the area properly. There's a difference. There's a difference. Now, if you get surgery, you're going to stink because of that pus and all that. You're going to stink. But if it's leaking and all that, you need to go to the doctor.
That's disgusting.
But if it smell like ass, you got to remember you putting silicone in your body. But back to all that. You gotta wash your ass, man.
Oh my God, it's disgusting.
Yeah, when you doctors do these surgeries on these folks, put a sign up in that goddamn building. It don't matter if you're white, trans, gay, alien. Wash your goddamn ass after you leave here. You need to wash and use. Talk about what's that man said that you don't have to use black people, poor people use rags to wash their ass. You telling me
a regular person?
Yeah, the man. Remember that debate when that man said you a poor black person if you use a rag?
What are you supposed to use? A loofah?
Let me tell you something about my big ass. I take 3 baths a day if the Lord let me. Honestly,
nice.
And I don't mean to get too vulgar. Even after I do a number 2, I don't give a damn if I took the tissue. If I'm at home, I get right in that shower, honey. You ain't spend no ass over here. I'm a big girl.
My dad always took a shower after he took a shit.
Man, who you telling? I do that. You ladies will put them.
He got hepatitis one time.
What?
Yeah, he got hepatitis C, I think.
See,
that's not the blood one, right?
C is the one that's like back in the day was like AIDS. He didn't get C. He must have got A or B.
A, okay.
A or B.
Well, he got one, and his doctor was like, "Yeah, it's something from fecal matter, right? Which is stool.
You can get that, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, ever since that he almost died. And ever since then, he washed his ass. He took a shower, and he would wait until he got home to take a shit.
Oh yeah,
he would go to work all day.
Oh, I waited.
And first thing he did when he got home was take a shit.
Because people don't understand that hepatitis shit ain't no joke. Like even I'm a lady. Because let me tell you, you're a bigger person, and I was talking about the BBLs because I don't want big people to feel. Like I don't mean to get into hygiene because it's about to be summertime.
I think people need this.
And let me be real with you.
If they don't know how to wash their ass after a BBL, Grace,
they need to get some some big people don't even. I have a cousin. I had to talk to her. Like, I got a cousin that'll run your ass, and she ain't never had a BBL. She like that old American Express card. She can't leave home without that funk. It was some shit going on. I had to talk to her. I said, you got to wash your ass. Like, I didn't go gently with her. Like, look, you need to go in there and wash your ass. Like, she's sweaty. She's a sweaty person. I'm a big girl. I got big old knockers. And we have to talk about it. It's about to be summer. Japanese cherry blossom cannot cover up the smell of must. Degree will help your ass. And if you got one of them old natural, what's that shit called? Ban? They can remember they got the medical deodorant.
Oh, Ban.
If you that goddamn musty, oof, you need to go to your doctor.
Yeah.
But the summertime is coming.
It is.
Cool water and must do not mix. Now you're probably like, I'm allergic to deodorant. Talcum powder, motherfucker. Shave that goddamn hairy, that arm. Shave your goddamn arm.
Mm-hmm.
What I do, I ain't gonna lie. It may not be healthy, but I put deodorant down there.
Okay.
You ain't gonna never, no, I don't give a damn. You be with me in the middle of the night, you gonna smell some goddamn Degree. And that's it. Degree and soap. Like cause I'm a big girl. I put it under my titty. Sometimes I put, people say it ain't healthy. Well, let me die smelling good. Cause my daddy always said, if you ain't gonna wear no drawers, have some clean ones on if you die. Cause you don't want people, when you die, that's the thing. Think about when the coroner come get you.
And you just smell like shit.
You just smell. He said you can have some pride about yourself.
Yeah. Don't die stinking.
He said, I'll be like your Aunt Lulabelle. My Aunt Lulabelle, God forgive me.
She's a stink ass?
She died stinking.
Oof.
And my daddy said, I don't know if that's death for her. And they didn't know. They waited a couple hours before they went in there. They had to wear double
hazmat suit.
They say it's wrong, but let me tell you something. Hygiene is important. If you're a big person, because I be watching. I be watching some people on TikTok.
Yeah.
And you probably think, Grace, you can't talk about hygiene. Let me tell you something. You will never. I don't give a damn. I don't care if we out there butt naked have to eat berries. I ain't gonna never stink. I'm gonna take the berry juice because I had to learn myself. And this, your belly button stinks. Clean that motherfucker. Spray some damn deodorant in your belly button. Put some baby. That motherfucker stink. Do you know your belly button stinks? You got to clean that motherfucker too. That's the third. You actually got, if you're a woman, you got 4 holes. And you know where the first 3 at. But that 4th hole is your belly button. How you up there doing it with a man and he up there getting ready to tear your ass up and then a whiff of death. Got them Santor coming out your shit. You know what a Santor is?
What the fuck is a Santor?
Google that shit. A Santor. And then they up there goddamn.
Is that how you spell it?
It's, I think it's Santar. The damn half man, half horse.
Centaur.
A Santor. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Santor coming out your shit. Getting ready to ravage.
Half man, half horse.
Because you want to smell like a man and you like a horse at the same time.
God. That's fucked up.
What you want me to say? Y'all men don't tell nobody. No, y'all don't. This is the fuck that y'all want to give bitches relationship advice. If a bitch think you need to tell her, hell, call me.
Yeah.
Because somebody was like, you ain't going to tell me I stink. Bitch, if you stink, you stink.
Yeah.
Think about my daddy said when you die, you got to go to heaven or hell in between. What if Satan kick you out from all that damn funk? He don't want to deal with it. You might be burning in hell, but that smell, he said that smell. It can get really ripe up in hell. So he might end up taking you to Peter. And you in that long ass line, wanting to be blessed to get into heaven. Peter going to send you right back to hell.
He's just being
and that's
purgatory,
where purgatory.
Just back and forth.
I think that's where musty people go, to purgatory. Like all them ghosts that's walking around speaking of ghosts. Like I feel like ghosts.
They die with swamp ass.
Yeah. I think God is like, look, I'm going to send you back for a little bit.
Hey, cleanliness is next to godliness.
There you go. Because I'm a jealous God and all that good. I believe God, purgatory.
Jealous God. We grew up with the Old Testament.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm a firm believer that he's a jealous God. Because one day I didn't pray and bad shit started happening to me. And I just started praying again. Like I ended up meeting that cockeyed man named Bill. And I ended up liking Bill. Till his wife came along.
That was a post office.
That was the post office, man. He ended up having a wife and we went to Wood Grill. But listen to me. It's about to be summer. And let me give y'all some advice. If you don't like deodorant, goddamn Gold Bond talcum powder, man. Okay, just talcum powder. It's gonna give me cervical cancer. What's it called? Cervical cancer.
Cervical cancer.
Cervical cancer. You're gonna die any goddamn way. But what? We all gotta die, Cody.
We got to.
Don't let people. We get cancer from anything. Hell, I got pink eye from doing something I ain't had no business. And that's the only time I ever had pink eye.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, honey.
The old rusty trombone?
Man, look. My eye swelled up like 2 critters fucking in a barn. You understand me? What? 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 I'm being honest. Like,
yeah, it's all right. My eye's swelling up now.
Yo, shit, I forgot. It's leaking a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah. Cody was fucking in a barn like a critter.
That was one of them squirrels.
But it's important because I think like if people give advice, like look, people gonna be like, oh, you wear the same shit. I ain't got no money. I pay real rent. I live by myself.
I pay real rent.
I promise you, like people will see me in the same shit. I barely got money to buy drawers. I had to go steal some shit out of Target. Them loss prevention men felt so bad. He said, it's that time again. I said, yes, sir.
Who said that?
The loss prevention man at Target.
Oh, man.
He was like, can you not come for another 90 days because my job is on the line? My fat ass ran out of that 12 pack of $15 panties. I got the one with the holes in it so I can feel naked when I'm laying in the bed. Okay?
That is a nice feeling, huh?
I sleep butt naked anyway, but when it's that time of month, you wanna still feel like you naked.
Right.
I forgot I left the window open. My neighbor was like, he said I had a quarter moon ass,
So he's been peeking.
Yeah, he been peeking. Then when his girlfriend come over, I go peek at him. Yeah. I was peeking. But
that same neighbor, huh?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is he still there?
I will not disclose that.
Okay.
But I will say this. I may not look clean, but I'm telling you, honey, I smell like the lily of the valley. When you walk past me, wash your ass. You got to wash your ass. It's important because people don't talk about hygiene. Like, you can go to community colleges. They used to hand us deodorant. People are allergic to deodorant. But still, and brush your goddamn teeth. If you know you got halitosis, I don't mean to get into hygiene.
Halitosis.
Because I'm tired of shit going to work meetings in your house, your goddamn mouth strong as a goddamn Shetland pony. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. If you got bad hygiene, you wondering why you ain't got nobody? They're not about to let two funky motherfuckers on the bus. It's not about to happen. If you want happiness, you gotta find, like, drink water. Drink fucking water. Eat fucking fruit. Now you probably wonder, bitch, you can't talk about nobody. Do you eat fruits? Let me tell you a secret. I may not eat fruits every day. But when it's time for me, let's say if I know I got a booty call on Saturday. No lie.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I drink fruit and berries like it ain't nobody business. Cause when he walk up in there, my shit gonna be golden. You understand what I'm saying? He gonna be like, baby, one time my shit was so good, he went and got me 4 boxes of strawberries. And he tried to stay an extra night. I said, nah, you gotta go home. You getting too comfortable. Cause I'm like this. I like to give people pleasure. I'm a pleasuring type of motherfucker. I feel like when you come in my house, there's gonna be some candles lit. But if you're just trying to go to Pound Town, that's different. But I prepare. You gotta, ladies and gentlemen, prepare for your sex night. Some people's like, I just want to just come straight from the gym and drill it. You ain't bringing that hepatitis B over here, motherfucker. I don't even want to smell it. Go in there and wash your ass. Like, why you want to fuck? You sweat when you fuck. On top of your nasty ass sweating, on top of your fucking sweating. That's disgusting. Please, y'all, drink water, eat fruits, berries. Get your ass up and run. You probably think, Grace, do you run? Nah, I ain't run. I got a bad knee. But if I could do these things are things I wish I could do. If I could run, if my fat ass, I got a bad knee, that motherfucker pop out of place from booting my foot up in people's asses all these years. It done caught up with me. But if I could run, if the good Lord can give me an AI that would help me run, cool. If my fat ass could go back about 7-8 years ago, because I've used this knee. That's why my left knee bad. I booted a bitch off the bus, the 210 Crenshaw bus. Bitch kept bumping me, trying to be funny. Talking about, bitch, I cuss you. I kicked that bitch so goddamn hard, the bus driver felt that shit. And he halted to hope the bitch fell out. I don't care. I assaulted somebody with my knee. And that's why my left knee messed up. So I can't run like that. But I'm telling you, younger people, get out there and take care of yourself. You don't want to wake up with no stroke. That's the worst. Picture you being all fucked up. God forgive me. You up there
from not washing your ass,
and you're stinking. You're crippled, and you can't move, and you don't want no stroke. Take care of you. You don't want to be fucked up. Okay, I want some Kool-Aid. No. Do not stress. Do not stress. Get all them stressful ass people out y'all life. Cody, somebody stressing, kick them out.
For sure.
Like, you don't drink water, be stress free. Pray for people.
This is the 10 Commandments of grace.
Somebody was like, oh, I don't believe in God. Well, motherfucker, somebody loved you enough to wake your ass up today. Give it a name. If it ain't God, Rufus. Or Elaine. Because I believe, I'm like this. I know people don't believe in God.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to bring up God. I just got to tell you why I believe in God. I'm going to be just straight 100 with you.
Yeah.
See, look at God from here. I was in a situation and I prayed about it. Because there was one time I didn't like God. Me and God was not cool like that. I'm going to be 100.
Yeah.
I prayed so hard in this situation, and maybe literally minutes later, a miraculous miracle. So I can't never turn my back on God. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just me. I bring up God a lot because that's who I believe in, and I didn't see the man work, okay, or woman or whoever God is. But Point being, don't have no stress. Whether you believe in God or not, just get stress out of your life. Take care of yourself. Take your health serious.
Yeah.
And start loving yourself more. And even if you don't got no friends, because some people don't know how to make friends. Some people have social anxieties.
They really don't.
Let me tell you something. Start off with video games.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Because that's what you ain't got to be around the people.
Yeah.
Make friends.
But isn't it weird how, like, people really don't know how to be nice to other people.
They sure in the hell don't.
Like, it's easy for you to, and it's easy for me and Courtney, but, like, some people don't know how to do it.
You know what? I be extra nice to them people that be mean. Because you want to know something? I was in a court case once, and my lawyer, the person that was against me, though, the crazy shit they kept saying, why are you so nice to this person? Because this person was trying to give me some time in jail.
Yeah. I'm going through that.
And the judge tripped out on how nice I was.
Yeah.
I said, what the fuck they doing to me ain't got nothing to do with what's going on now. I said, if a person got to be mean to you, listen to me, y'all.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to nothing I tell you, be nice to them. Because people have a certain way that they show their pain. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't going to tell you, I'm mean because
right.
a bear bit the back of my leg or I fell off my bike.
My daddy never hugged me.
I don't like hugs. But that motherfucker probably want to hug. Get to know a person.
Exactly.
Like, take your time.
That's a hard place to get to, Grace. That's
patience.
Well, no, just accepting that someone who is doing you harm is actually hurting
it
too.
Depends on the harm. Now, let me change it. It do, because let me tell you something about them. I be real careful what I said.
I'm not saying accept it.
No.
But it's like, when you do realize that there's some type of pain in them or like hate or anger or insecurity or fear that's causing them to do it, that kind of helps you understand like the situation better.
But it depends, y'all, because don't take what Cody and I'm saying and running with it, because a lot of people like to do that on this podcast. It depends on what they do to you. Now, if a person, everybody goes through shit and everybody handles that angry. Like, people that be mean to me, you want to know why they be mean to me? I noticed that half of the people that was mean to me had social anxieties. They didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I'm more, you put me in a room, not everybody in that room might be my friend, because everybody can't take me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't. I could play that video game. Half of them people mute me, but then when they start hearing everybody laughing, you're funny.
Yeah.
But I was just all these problems, though.
Yeah,
and then I end up carrying, I'm bragging. I'm the worst shit talker in that video game. And I'm bragging today. I still walk out with my motherfucking kills and all them people. I can't hear people. You ain't to see. It's a big ass hide and seek game. Let me get on that real quick. You can see a motherfucker coming.
Yeah.
The fuck, my voice is, motherfucker, let me knock him down for you. Boom, knocked him down. Now go kill the other motherfuckers. Boom, I'll soften them up for you. Boom, now go kill them motherfuckers. Right. They hate me so much. You talk all that shit because you got to pay attention.
Yeah.
I call myself ambidextrous. So point being, people that be mean to me, it's because some of them be having social anxieties. They don't know how to make friends.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean to be rude. I'm like, you want me to help you make some friends? I don't want no motherfucking friends. Then why you around me causing me shit?
Right.
And then I end up being their friend. And guess what? People have changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like, God forgive me. This is one person I know. And he's a straight, mean man. Straight. I said, let's go make some gay friends. Why fuck I won't make some goddamn gay friends? I don't like gay people. I said, gay people are the most beautiful.
Were you talking to me?
No, did you hit a person in the chest?
No.
Okay, then I'm not talking about you. So this person had a habit of hitting people in the chest. Didn't matter what you were. This motherfucker was mean as a goddamn alley cat in heat, man. That motherfucker was mean. I said, you can't go around, bitch. Just fucking people up. Because he asked me.
That's crazy.
In his latter years of turning 55, his wish was to make more friends. Because he had one friend that I had to tell him his friend was gay. He didn't know his friend was gay. He had a whole gay buddy the whole time. He didn't. That's the trippy part.
That's funny.
I advised him to be around more gay people because, to me, gay people are beautiful people. Like, you got everybody. It's depending on who you go around. Like,
yeah,
all the gay people I know are cool, but I was suggesting the environment that he works in was full of gay people and he didn't know. And his best friend, he has one best friend. I'm gonna say his name is Larry. I said, Larry's gay. Larry ain't no goddamn gay. We went to the Hamptons. I said, but did you see him with any bitches? He got a lot of male friends. He did not know Larry was gay.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, if you can get along with Larry, I took him around other people that he didn't even know was gay.
Yeah.
And I just kept my mouth closed. And he ended up, I was teaching him how to talk to people.
How to realize dude's gay?
I think he's finally slowly
But that makes sense to me because like when you're straight, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. I think he's starting to learn he's bisexual.
It doesn't make sense.
I think he's starting to understand. I think he's fighting with he didn't give me gay vibes in the beginning, but he was so mean to everybody. You couldn't tell if he was an old-fashioned person that didn't like gay people.
Yeah.
But the reason why I suggested gay people with him, because I spotted he was around gay people.
Oh.
He didn't pay attention to it.
He didn't realize it.
He didn't realize Larry was the gayest of the I'm talking about flamboyant. He wasn't too flamboyant, but he was more like
this guy's clueless. What's his name again?
We're going to call this one Bobby, and we're going to call his gay friend Larry. They made movies together.
That's hilarious.
Been friends for fucking years. I'm going to show you a picture. When we get off, I'll show you his pictures.
Yeah.
When you look at Larry,
Bobby
you're like, this motherfucker gay. And I told him, because he was like, I don't fuck around with gay people, man. I love bitches.
I love bitches.
And I'm a man. He will shock people. And it didn't even matter if he was gay or not.
People.
But I paid attention. I said, he asked me.
Yeah.
Because I would kick it with a lot of comedians, a lot of people, we like to clown. He wants to clown. He tells the most driest, knock, knock. He does his fucked up knock, knock. He's like, who's there? Nobody, motherfucker. And nobody laughs. I'm like, y'all laugh.
Laugh, guys.
Y'all like that one? I got another one. We like, nah.
Nah, that's good. It's good.
Y'all sure? And he tries to bully people he want to be a bully comedian.
Right.
No, for real.
Isn't that funny though? When people when you don't laugh at them and they keep coming at you and you're like, just be fun.
It just turns out
it's okay if it's not funny, but it's just not funny.
He was like, shut up, bitch. Like, it was bad. He called everybody bitch. So point being, he's like, man, for my birthday, man, I want to make more friends. So I said, well, what are the people you have?
For my birthday.
He wants to make more friends. When I looked at the people he associated himself with, especially Larry, you can look at Larry and can tell, honey.
Larry's gay.
Larry is beautiful, honey. Larry got them honey, beautiful. He look like he wear mascara. He talk about, I knew him since the fucking Prince era. He used to walk around with ass chaps, and I'm like,
he's super straight, just like Prince.
And they both.
That is deceptive though. That's deceptive as shit.
I know, but
because Prince. If you're looking at Prince in today's eyes, you'd be like, oh, he's so gay.
Oh, yeah.
But then you find out about Prince, and Prince was straight. Mm-hmm.
And a Jehovah's Witness.
And a Jehovah's Witness. And
knock on your door.
I mean.
What do you know about Jehovah's?
So many women.
Oh,
Carmen Electra.
Apollonia.
Who?
Apollonia, Vanity.
Oh, really?
He had all the bitches for Vanity.
Vanity?
Vanity. He discovered Vanity.
Wow.
But I was going to say this, and he also wrote Manic Monday. Just a Manic Monday. Oh, not just Sunday.
Whoa.
That's my fun day. He wrote Manic Monday. He wrote a lot of songs.
Wow.
You can hear Prince in there a little bit. That's just like Michael Jackson had a girl group called Brownstone. And you can hear that. I know Michael Jackson. But point being back to him, so I said, let's look at the people you hang around. So I started watching. And I said,
it's like Bert and Ernie.
I wanted to tell him, man, I didn't say it then. I said, well, what's wrong with your friend Philip? He be staring at me, man, because he's a little short person and he wears cowboy boots because he likes something with a little heel on it.
Okay.
So I looked, and back in the day, like when Dr. Dre, I'm not saying Dr. Dre gay.
Yeah.
When he was with Ready for the World, they were really feminine looking.
Right.
They used to dress like that back in the day. And I'm like, maybe he's gay and he don't know it. Maybe he's bisexual because him and Larry are thick as thieves. Like Larry is like this. Girl, he hit somebody in the chest today. I said, no way, Larry. Yeah, he did, girl. That's how Larry talks.
Yeah.
And he's more like, Larry just got something wrong with. They knew each other, I guess, since third grade.
Oh, okay.
He got them thyroid problems. That's why he talks like that. Bitch. I said, all right. But point being, I think
that's funny.
He has a lot of, he goes to open mics and he goes to a lot of LGBTQ plus stuff. He donates money now. And I think, and he's more like Larry a little bit. He's more relaxed. That's
very interesting.
I'm going to the beach this weekend with Philip. Now I ain't questioning. And he doesn't say bitch so rough. Bitch.
It's a softer bitch.
Bitch.
Bitch. And it's a slap now.
Yeah.
Not a punch to the chest.
Yeah. I think he's still knocking people because he knocked that one person out.
I disrespect him if he stopped doing that.
Yeah, he's just...
Come on, man.
He's just...
Get back to that old shit.
He does more... Like, he's more... I think that was the best advice I gave him. Like, he's more softer.
Yeah.
He goes with his kids. He's more fatherly. I think he's been around so many men that he never has a feminine. He needed to be around. He needed some femininity around him. He needed to have a softer touch. And why I say gay people, he did not realize. He just now realized that all his friends he went to school with from back in the day, he's like 56 years old.
Yeah,
they all are gay. Larry came out and told him he was gay. He never knew.
That's hilarious.
I said, how you never knew? He ain't got no kids. He would see him with bitches, but the bitches would be his friends.
Yeah.
He was bringing bitches for him. And he's like, man, yeah, like, you ain't gonna fuck on her? I already had her.
So that's why he was friends with all these gay dudes.
He didn't know.
They always hooked him up with women.
Whole time he probably gay.
That's hilarious.
So I pointed that out to him. So now he's living a great life.
That's funny. I wanted to say something about serial killers.
Go ahead, back to that.
One thing that I noticed when the flu started a couple years ago, was people out here that were like very like political would say things such as like when it comes to like Southerners or conservatives, it's like, cool, don't let them wear them, or if they don't want to wear a mask, that's okay. Let them all die. And I was like,
isn't that kind of serial killer? Shh.
Really? Like, you kidding, right? And they're like, no. And I was like, dang, that's something interesting.
Okay, let's just like...
And it's like, you know, if it's not like you're doing anything, right? Well, I didn't cause them to die. But it's like, I'm okay with you doing something that causes you to die. And you get a little glee from it. That's fascinating, right?
I'm worried. Okay, put it like this. Those should be the people you're more worried about than the...
But I feel like everybody's got something like that.
You think everybody's serial killers in a way?
Not serial killers, but like there's something that, you know, that people, I think people who see other people doing things that they're like, oh, that's not what you should be doing. At a certain point, you get to a point where you're like, all right, let them do it and see what happens.
That's why I don't understand why they don't never let the kitty fiddlers go to war and the rapists go to war. Like, you got all this anger and aggression. Send them motherfuckers to Baghdad. Send them motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, make them join the military?
But I know the real truth behind that. But it's like it got something to do with serial killers. Sick people need to go to war.
I don't know. I mean,
they should. Because let me explain to you why.
What you're trying to say is they should go and die for our country.
If I'm like this, if you really want, okay, I'm gonna describe my house to you.
I feel like a lot of rich kids should go die for our country, or fight for our country. You know what I mean? Like put their life on the line.
Why?
I'm not saying like literally go die. Rephrase that, but because I don't think. Well, I know for a fact I train a bunch of them, and they don't really care about our country.
Okay, are they
like I literally was talking to one yesterday.
Are they millennials?
Yeah, they're kids.
Were they
they're
kids? Okay.
They're kids.
Okay.
But where I'm from, that doesn't exist because that's a culture of people who have served in the military, family members who served in the military.
Okay.
How many people you know out here have served in the military?
There's a lot. We have, I met my good friend Bo, but he's from Mississippi.
I know no one.
We have a Air Force base in LA,
the world
that
Courtney and I are in.
That you don't know what is in the military?
What's that?
You don't know nobody in the military out here?
No. Who have even had family in the military.
It's prevalent here. It's just that it's more...
No. I'm saying rich people.
They
don't.
Okay.
I'm literally telling you this, Grace. This is not up for debate.
Okay, but let me tell you why.
This is the people.
Let me tell you why.
But what that cultivates is a lack of respect for the country that you live in and the sacrifice. This is Memorial Day. We are literally celebrating everybody who has died for our country in service.
And God bless them,
But it's crazy to see people who have financial stability on another level
that they don't want to go fight.
Have no connection to that idea of fighting and laying your life down for your country. And I had a podcast, remember Walter was on the podcast a couple weekends ago, and he was a Marine.
Yeah.
And the way he was raised was very similar to me, where how you were raised every day, Pledge of Allegiance in school, right?
They taught you to be patriotic.
Yeah. They taught you what respect for your country was and why your country is important. And the people who have fought for your country have allowed you to do, which is live here, and be able to do the things that we get to do as American citizens. Now, maybe you're not doing what you want to do in your life, and that's a different thing, right?
Okay.
But having the opportunity to do it and seeing that and being grateful for it is something that a lot of people don't have.
Okay. Well, okay. You got to look at where we at, for one. And you have to look at the demographic.
I totally get it.
Because you got to remember, when people watch this, when you dish it out, I got to give an answer to it. Because everybody be like, what would Grace do? What is Grace going to say? So I have to give an understanding, because people take what you say, but they don't know how you are the wrong way. Basically, yeah, they do. Because they don't understand. They don't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they don't understand.
The justice, I have to regurgitate basically my thoughts on what, like, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Basically, you got to look at back where we grew up at.
Yeah.
If you didn't have money like that and you wanted a better life, you either went to the Navy, you went to the military, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To better your life. Because you could get a good education without paying no money. You could be a doctor. I knew people who didn't even have to go to med school. They got their doctor training there and then found the school and college because they did everything there. Here, California, rich people ran out here because it was cheaper. The taxes weren't so bad back then. And most people got rich off of the backs of poor people. And the millennials, and I'm not talking about kids that don't know nothing, because I know once upon a time they looked at it. We was all youngsters once upon a time. That boy ain't never had pressure on his back. He don't know what it's like to, no disrespect, I'm not saying he don't go through nothing. Rich people go through shit too, but why would he have to go to the military when he don't have to? He ain't got nothing on his back. Like, when you're down south or Midwest, or you got to go to the military, especially if you live in certain parts of the South, like, Mississippi or Iowa, mostly white young men are told to go to the Navy because it's a little cheaper, or National Guard. Like, I know a lot of white kids, that's the first thing they do. They go to Navy because you can get your IT training there. Nowadays, that's the best place to go if you want to get IT training, drone training.
It's a lot of opportunities.
There's a lot of opportunities in the Navy. It teaches
pay for your schooling.
Hey.
Yeah.
But him, why would he have to go if he got the money? I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I'm not even saying you have to go. I'm just saying the respect.
Oh, he ain't got why he got that respect? Let me tell you.
It's culture.
His nanny raised him.
It's culture.
His nanny raised him. His parents didn't raise him. His nanny. Giving you a good example. We ain't gonna say her name, but somebody we worked with that's a multi-billionaire, banana heiress. You know who we talking about? Yeah, don't bring her up.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how she lost her fortune? I was standing right there when it happened.
Yeah.
You want to slap the shit out of her.
Yeah.
She's working with us, and her allowance was $25,000 a month. Her daddy been giving that to her since she graduated high school. Her sister works for Entertainment Tonight. They all got regular 9-to-5s and lives in studios and still got their fortune. She lost her fortune when we was working where we was working at.
Yeah.
How she got that job, her dad owned a percentage in that place and also owns the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
Her daddy is a Southerner. You know how he got his money? And this isn't even alleged. We're going to call her Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina's father came up on that money. You think he naturally got rich? No, he was a poor Southern boy. Poor as dirt poor shit gonna get. His wife was adopted by this English family here in the U.S. that moved here and opened up their banana manufacturing company in the Philippines. He married her and put all his brothers and sisters on and over the company and left her broke and only pays her what he wants to and had her
Right.
deemed as mentally crazy.
Right.
Did you know that?
You've mentioned this before.
The reason I'm telling the story, the point I'm saying is that girl don't have a sense of getting her ass up and wanting to go work if it came and booted her in her ass.
Yeah.
All her brothers sisters got all their billions and all their money and still get money from the corporation.
Yeah.
But her dad was like this. I gave you all this money.
Yeah.
Why you, like, he's traditional. Like, why you didn't take that money and go buy some apartments? Yeah. She wanted to live in that car, pop them pills with that dog.
Yeah.
See.
And what that is not parenting correctly.
No, it's not.
So if
why?
you parent correctly, you'll cultivate a respect for your country, a respect for your family. But when you don't have it.
I mean, Cody put it like this.
And when you don't have to, you don't do it.
But that's why there's...
And the military, Grace, the military is not just for poor people.
It's not, but I'm just saying
I know
back then
a lot
it
of
was
people,
for...
a lot of people who I used to coach in wrestling at a private school went to the military.
Yeah, because their parents told them.
What's that?
Their parents put that in their head because probably they grew up... It ain't just for poor people.
They had family members who had been part of the military.
Yeah, but you got to look at their background. Did they always come from money? I was just saying the example back how when we grew up in our time, you got to look at how...
But what I'm trying to say is the culture, when the culture respects the military, you're in that culture, so you hear those conversations, right? And you're like, oh yeah, dude, that makes sense. Yeah, people died.
But he's a business person.
Yeah, people died for me to be able to go to school and do things.
Hold on.
But out here, I'm talking about in the world where I train. You don't hear that. Like public schools and private schools in LA.
His parents are criminals, Cody. Straight the fuck up. Let me tell you something. Culturally, he was taught.
Yeah.
Culturally, let me just tell you.
Are you talking about the kid I'm talking about?
Yeah, let me tell you.
Not.
They're not crazy. How you think people get rich, Cody? You think it's something magical?
No.
I promise you. I bet you my first $1 million check, hands down, if I ever get one. I'll get one in a couple of years. Anybody you know that's a multi-billionaire, and I put that on everything I love. Got
multi-billionaire?
Millionaire, billionaire. Okay. Got their hand tied in something and they ain't got no business. All rich people got to clean that money somehow. They have to. No. That's called organized crime. That's just like, okay, I tell you, people.
You think everybody's into organized crime?
People don't know they do white collar crime without somebody telling them. That's just like if you take money from the government from both places.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I know a lot of people who aren't.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
But people don't understand they do crime and don't realize they do. I know people who took their EDD money and put it in a bank account and also got rent relief and put it in a bank account. That's stealing from the government. That's white collar crime. You just cleaning it.
Yeah.
That's a form of crime. I was telling folks, do not put that money in there. You lied to the government twice. How the fuck?
The things that you have to tell people.
They don't listen.
Wash your ass and don't put your EDD money.
You can't because you're supposed to be broke. How is it that you couldn't pay your rent but you got EDD? You still had an income. It's considered an income. That's why we had to pay taxes on that EDD money. Anything you got to pay taxes on, honey.
I feel like you're surrounded by morons that you have to
people
explain
did that.
shit
people,
to.
That's just like that PPP loan shit. Everybody gonna get caught up. A lot of people gonna get caught up on that shit. You could have got the grant instead of the damn loan. They had a $30,000 grant, but people got greedy.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
it's crazy. People
do organized crime and all type of white collar crime and don't know they do it. Now, rich people's like, that ain't true because I know rich people. Let me tell you something. LA, I can tell you how many celebrities I done seen in Watts, and I'm like, why the fuck they here? Oh, I'm just helping the community. Why are you in the projects? And you probably thinking, what the fuck that got to do with anything, man? All criminal activity happens in the projects.
Yeah.
Straight the fuck up, 100 with the shit. You can money launder your money in the projects because it's a government-funded program. Anything, I bet you all the rich people got their hand tied into some type of nonprofit that's tied into the government. It's just a clean way of cleaning your money without going to jail. All rich people do it. Think about it. There's so many people that know how to do weaves and make hair. Why them dumb bitches didn't go to St. Jude's and make a wig for a kid and charge the hospital $2,000 or $3,000 for that kid? You can sign it off as a nonprofit.
I feel like you need to help some people with their business plans.
Think.
No.
You can get rich
the ones
that
you're
way.
talking about, they don't.
You want to sit up here and argue with a bitch in a hair salon that ding dong ditch you? Oh, I need a blonde wig, but there's a little girl that needs some ponytails. There's a little girl that's a teenager that got cancer and need a bomb wig and want to go to prom.
Yeah.
Make them kids a wig and charge the goddamn it as a medical insurance. Fuck, use your goddamn head.
If you had a kid,
Yeah, go ahead, ask me.
would you teach your kid that going to the military is a respectful thing.
I'm gonna teach my kids. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna speak this into existence because Lord knows I want a child.
Okay. Wow. I didn't know you did.
I mean, I'm getting older. I don't want to be an old lady and alone. But if I am blessed, and I will have it, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be a famous comedian with a lot of money, and I'm gonna have me a good husband and some great kids. But the way I know my husband gonna be, he gonna be opposite of me. He gonna probably be a very stern. It's weird. I always meet people opposite of me, but
yeah.
My child, the way I would raise my kid, even if I was a famous comedian, which I will be, and do what I do and tour and talk to people, because I want to take my comedy and I want to structure and I want to do it right. I want to help people. Like I'm on here telling people what the fuck not to do. Why I'm going to run my mouth and not help all that. Wash your ass. I'm with the real. I'm not going to sit up here and goddamn play with you all.
Yeah.
But my children, because I had an old daddy and I grew up in the South, and I don't give a damn if I had $4 million. My kids are going to do work programs from school. They're going to work after school because I'm not going to give my kids everything. I'm not saying you don't.
Yeah.
But I know people, you're not supposed to go broke over your kids. Now, I think this is going to be one hell of a discussion because people going to go on an uproar on this. You're never supposed to go broke for your kids. People do. People will go with credit card debt to buy their kids some Jordans. I'm telling you.
Oh.
I'm telling you. So what I'm saying is me, if we talk about military background, my brother is he's older, y'all. My brother David. Shout out to my brother David. Was in Vietnam. My daddy had to go. My brother was in Vietnam for 10 years. He served over there in the Philippines where he was for 10. I wouldn't even thought of. My brother went in when he was 18, got out when he was like 28. My brother still gets a VA check because my brother ain't got it all. He got Asian Orange or whatever you want to call it. Like, his mind is gone. David ain't up. I love my brother David. Shout out to my brother David. But we all know he ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My grandfather was in World War I. He was born in 1896. My grandfather was in World War I and II. My Uncle Ernest, shout out to my Uncle Ernest, he rest in peace. He was in the Navy.
Yeah.
And he ended up being an airplane, like my family is a strong military background.
Yeah.
But I would tell my kids, it ain't nothing wrong with going. If I saw my son needed some structure, let's just give you an example.
Yeah.
You start them, it's how you teach them when they're young.
Right.
That little boy, you gotta remember, you don't know who raised him. You don't know if a nanny raised him.
I do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he had parents, like his parents teaching him about money, all he knows is probably money, how to make some money. There wasn't, to me, the way I feel you describing him, he's disrespectful in your eyes. So that's, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't got no sense of humaneness, and he ain't got good sense on human compassion and believing in people's, like the integrity of a nation. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I would teach my kids if we had to go on a milk, because you know me, when my seriousness kick in, everybody call me General. Even in the video game, I'm General Panda. I'm telling everybody what to do.
Yeah.
Get down, motherfucker. Yeah. My children gonna already know it's gonna be militant all in my house.
And I know you'll be like that. But, but you were raised right.
Oh, I was raised that way. My daddy wasn't going for it.
Your dad who respected things.
Oh yeah, my dad was, because my whole family was a military background. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
Huge thing.
And I get what you're saying.
And out here,
it ain't.
I don't see it, especially with the people that I work with. But here's the thing: they will also tell you that they know more about you and where you're from than you do.
What?
There is a
stereotyping?
No, there is an arrogance.
Oh no, they stereotyping you though. They looking at you, sizing you up.
Of course.
Because they got money, Cody.
Of course.
Don't nobody fucking know.
Of course. But you know what? Here's the real thing. Here's the real issue. And we've talked about this before. I mean, race issues, it happens.
Yeah.
But it's a class issue.
Always. Oh, it's a social economic class issue.
Always that. It's always, I got more money than you. Mm-hmm. I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, but you know what? If that motherfucker had any sense.
I know more about what you're going through than you do.
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to change this, the company and that's just like we know this mutual person.
Yeah.
And we're going to change his name to Bobby. But when I start hinting around who it is, his dad went down for sexual harassment and has one of the biggest law firms. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
He had to go undercoverly take over because he carries his dad's name.
Right. Yeah.
If he didn't step up, even though we feel he ain't doing shit, but he really is.
Yeah.
He don't got a lot of followers, but he's running that multi-billion-dollar company. But I just figured that out on my own.
Yeah.
Him and I think of his brother.
Yeah.
They deal with a lot of talent now.
Right. Yeah.
And how I know, because he come and watch my stories.
Yeah.
He eyeballing me. I know you see me.
Right.
But point being, if he had somebody got in his ear a long time ago and taught his ass some sense. Right. It could have been a military person because he might be a certain way. But let me tell you something about that boy. He lies a lot, but he full of shit. Like when he say he gonna help somebody, he like this. He don't usually tell you if he gonna do it, he gonna do it.
Well, it's kind of like what we talk about, Grace. It's like when you've never been in a situation where like, you know how like loyal you are? Like when you bring up things that people that we know and you're like, hey, watch out for that person.
Hell yeah.
And you almost get mad at me.
You goddamn right.
But I see the loyalty in you. And I see the respect and the friendship that you have. But that can only be cultivated
I just went through
when
that.
you don't have shit.
But let me tell you.
You know what I mean?
I just went through that with my sister.
But like that's what
I
like when I was growing up, when I became friends with someone, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna mirror this like I do with my family. And my family, I'm here to protect my family and stand by my family because we're all we've got.
I don't like.
So that's how I do friendships.
Okay, yeah,
and then you meet people that are friends and they have no loyalty.
Let me tell you.
And you're
something.
Like,
I keep them motherfuckers close.
Oh, there's a difference. When some people say friends, that's what
that's
means.
Associates.
And then associates. And then when some people say friends, they're like, hey, I will shoot someone in the eyeball for you. Let me know when. I'll do it.
You know
what I mean?
That's a made guy right there.
Right.
That's a made man. But I was saying, do I have associates? No. I feel like anybody that I personally build because bringing up my sister and that shit about me warning people. Remember, I told you people show me themselves.
Right.
Whether nobody sees it or not, I see it.
Yeah.
And I don't assume nothing. I don't have time. I don't got time. I don't got time to assume shit. That's just like that discussion we had. Like
you see one thing, you're like, I'm locking that down. I know
it is what it is. But I give it a minute till they keep on showing their ass. I'm like, okay, motherfucker, you a full donkey. So let me teach your ass a lesson. You understand me? So point being, it's like to me when them people do that to me, I consider them motherfuckers sick fucks because it's like you really think because they want me to react.
Right.
But what I
you
do,
think we're that cool?
Oh no!
You think I'm okay
with
that?
They go around people like you ain't the only person that does that. Like there's somebody that was doing that shit to my sister, and me and my sister got into it because cause my sister years later is now telling me she shout out to my sister like she's starting to believe me was shit. Cause when we were younger, I could spot. I'm telling you, people show their ass to me. They not gonna show their ass to you. People do this shit all the time to me because I play so goddamn much. But then when I cut that shit up, that's just like that one boss we had, and she took me home. And I hope you nosy bitch you watching. She knew when she took me, she was fucking with me at work so bad, doing the stupidest shit. The bitch like, I'm gonna drive you home in my $80,000 BMW. I'm gonna drive you home. Okay, remind you, at that time I was living in Death Alley. That's the neighborhood. It is 1,200 unsolved murders right on that street alone.
Jeez.
You understand me? And I was walking through that motherfucking alley to get to work every goddamn day. I wouldn't, and still had everybody at work loved me. But you didn't even know I'm walking over dead bodies, corner at the end of my fucking street every goddamn day. Yeah. Somebody getting knocked down. Yeah. Bitch went, I live that way. I want to drop you off. I didn't say nothing. I let the bitch, because she thought she had an upper on me. Like, I'm going to see how this woman, because it was her last day at this job.
Oh, yeah.
I even told my boss what I did. Pulls up to my house. That's why you can't assume nothing about nobody.
Yeah.
It's dark as shit. Have you been to my house on Berendo?
No.
Long time ago when I was there?
No.
The coroner was there every other day, Cody. That's just like across the street, my neighbor snapped and killed his whole family. When I was at work and I came home, we couldn't even get in my apartment one night. I had to go call Lauren to pick me up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Lauren. Point being, she pulls up in front of my house. I have to go. You don't want to come in and have no tea? You did that because you all big and bad and you got these ruffles. And I had to sit in the car and tell her, if I said, you trying to rush off? I said, do you see me? Would you walk down the street every night? I said, I don't have time to play. And I swear to God, it was like I had to threaten. I said, I don't want to play with you or nobody else at that job.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be coming to work humbly, keeping my mouth closed and cracking a smile. And you trying to take the little bit of job I got. Now you see, I said, look around you.
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm playing with you? I said, stop playing with me. I said, I'm on a bus. You in an $80,000 car. I will get you before you get me.
Yeah.
I could see you before you could see me. Stop playing. Are you threatening me? Bitch, you threatened my job. And then her humility changed. Like, let me leave this crazy bitch alone. I had to threaten a couple of people. Like, I was carrying rusty nails to work. Like, bitches better stop playing with me. Like, they was Cody showing their ass. I had one of them, oh, me and my friend gonna beat you up. I call my, like, y'all didn't hear the crazy shit. I had one of them, oh, I'll get my cousin to fuck you up. You sure? What's your cousin's name? So I started stalking their page.
Right.
Found their cousin that they said was gonna fuck me up. Reached out to her. I said, hey, I work with your cousin Sophia. We gonna change her name. Yeah. And she said, you wanted to fuck me up. I said, my name is Grace. This is my address. It says right here on this website, I did a credit check on you. I did. It says you live in this area. These are a couple of the nearest parks. I said, now if I kick your ass here, if you don't have a felony, I wrote the whole criminal charges what we both will get if we both fucked each other up. I said I will get a misdemeanor assault, and if you press charges, it can turn into a felony, and that's 1 year in the Los Angeles
I'm
County.
just letting you know how this could go.
She said I was a crazy
for
bitch.
Both of us.
Stop fucking
that's
with
actually
me.
the most respectful thing you
and
could
she
do.
know what she said? She said I was so crazy. She told her cousin, leave that bitch alone. The bitch is crazy. Like, she sent me, everybody at work was like, so you sent this lady a whole different, like, because people at my job's like, oh, I have a cousin that's ghetto. Like,
yeah. Right.
Do you really? What's your cousin? I don't want to tell. I found out on my own who this. They kept saying they was gonna get this cousin for me. Cool. I said, now, ma'am, if you want to fuck me up, what is a good time? I even packed us a sack lunch. Oh, God. I packed us a lunch. I put 2 sandwiches and a Shasta Diet Shasta.
No, you did.
I'm
Diet
sure
Shasta.
I wanted her, because I wasn't about to give her no Diet Coke. She wasn't that guy, because I wanted to pack a lunch. So after we got through whooping each other ass before the cops come,
we'll drink a Diet Shasta together.
And a sandwich and talk it out, because I don't want to have to keep whooping your ass. Now, I might get my ass kicked, because she was a big old burly girl.
Right.
Big old burly girl.
Yeah.
I knew she.
So you packed double lunches.
Yeah, she didn't want to. She was just like, something is wrong with you. I said, now, what kind of, do you like tuna rye? What kind of sandwich do you? She's like, bitch, you threatening my life. And asking me for a sandwich. I said, your cousin said that you was trained in Taekwondo and Kimpo. And she said, you was going to fuck me up. She said, she really said that to you? I said, yeah, because she said, I'm ghetto. She had a ghetto cousin. I said, me and your cousin had. She said, girl, don't pay that no mind. She said, I respect you enough. You dug up my whole life. But she said, stay the fuck away from me. I said, I don't even come near you. I just want to make sure if we see each other, we don't have no felony. Yeah. I ain't got no felony, and we don't need. She said, girl, ain't nobody studying you. And I said, ain't nobody studying you neither. And that was it. And she didn't bring her cousin up no more.
Isn't it funny how we keep working at the same place and keep getting fired?
I didn't get fired. I walked off my job. I walked off because remember the bitch was
What about the first one?
I walked off from there because I got hired at the school district.
Okay.
I walked off. Both of them jobs, I didn't get fired. I almost got fired, but I walked off that job. And I'm still hired currently with that other job to this day. No. I'm not lying. They still got me hired. It's just inactive. Like, I'm still on with the company.
Yeah.
Because I walked away. That's how unprofessional they are. After a motherfucker leave, don't you just take them out the system? Like, come on. So,
that's so funny.
The last job, the lady, maybe I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you what ended up happening. I'm on camera. If it wasn't no cameras, you know I would have cold pieced the fuck out that bitch. She was on
change
drugs.
Subjects.
It got something to do with me putting my hands on me getting fired. She freaked out. I don't know if she was on drugs. I ain't never seen. She had a nervous breakdown. You bitch! All on camera, crying. You bitch! I tried to help you. I said, girl, stop fucking. I did say this. I said, stop fucking acting a goddamn fool up here.
Yeah.
I was more worried about her because she seemed like the type she was gonna go postal. Because the way she broke down at work, let me tell you something about me. That's a sign of a mental breakdown. I didn't do nothing to her. She had a lot on her plate and she couldn't handle that job.
Yeah.
That girl started crying, screaming, bitch. So I reported her to HR. You want to know the whole story? I reported your ass to HR because I didn't want her going postal.
Yeah.
And it flipped on me. I ended up being the problem. They made it seem like I drove the bitch crazy. I said, I ain't Houdini.
I ain't Houdini.
If I could make motherfuckers go crazy, I would have a whole puppet show. Look at this mother butt naked on a beluga whale.
Yeah.
If I had powers to fuck somebody up, I'd be a cold bitch. But I said, they was trying to figure out what did I do to make her have a breakdown. I said, it was y'all. I said, she's the one trying to fall. I think, okay, that's what it was. She was filing, come to find out, she was filing a lawsuit against the company. I guess they thought because we were 2 women of color, we were in on the lawsuit. So they started investigating us. I said, I want no money with that bitch.
It's so crazy.
And her boyfriend, her husband was white. And her husband was coerced to her, telling her, record me. You cannot record nobody in the state of California without their permission. It will not add up. So don't try it. It's not going to hold up in court. Trust me, I know my laws.
Yeah.
You know I know, Cody.
Yeah.
If anybody know, I should have been a lawyer. You ain't. What? You try me if you want to. I'll be out of jail in probably 4.5 hours.
4.5 For 5 hours.
Probably depending on the jail I'm at. Because I mostly know all the police stations I'm going to go to before I get arrested.
Yeah.
I get detained. I've been arrested once. Never got fingerprinted or booked. I just been detained. Detained is like you sitting up in the jail for a hot minute till they figure out. The chief of police was like, "Do you know what you're being charged for?" I just was quiet. Teach you rules about getting arrested, y'all. Shut your goddamn mouth.
Well,
if they ask you a question, you ain't got to answer shit. Do you know why you being arrested? Just look at them. Don't do that, because what happens is when you get arrested, you start talking. Anything you say or do will be. If you be quiet, what could they say? Yo, dumb ass up there, motherfucker! I didn't do that goddamn shit. Yeah. And then they gonna do that good cop bad cop shit on you, and you're gonna be in that room with them, and that's where half of you don't have to talk. Let me teach you a secret. If they ask you to come in, and you dumb enough to walk your ass in there without a lawyer and do them, what's them things where they question you? What they ask you, let's
interrogation.
Say, like when something like a crime happened, like a murder. Let's just give that an example. If somebody's getting murdered, they have to question everybody.
Cross-examination.
That's when you're in court. But they have the thing where they video record you when you're coming in for questioning. You don't have to go.
Oh, okay.
You ever when you see somebody kill somebody, they have that thing. They already have you. If they asking you to come in there, they got bullshit evidence, but it can't hold up. If you go in and you start talking, don't. Never do it. You do a crime, call you a lawyer. And a real good lawyer is going to tell you, shut your goddamn mouth.
Grace, this whole podcast, you've gotten upset at people for not washing their ass, talking to cops, and
shut your mouth.
And not committing crimes properly.
Yeah. How you going to do a crime and do it improperly?
Because you're doing a crime.
But you got to do it right.
No.
What's the point of doing a crime if you can do it? That's like fucking somebody. How you gonna fuck somebody and not do it right?
How many actually intelligent people?
A lot. DB Cooper.
Commit.
DB motherfucking Cooper.
That's one person.
Oh, it's been a lot of them. Come on.
Commit the types of crimes that you're talking about.
What, white collar crime?
What
kind of crime?
DDT or DD. What is it? What? EDD.
EDD. That's called white collar crime.
And PPC loan.
PPP. That's called white collar crime.
Yeah, but who's doing it?
A lot of people.
Any white collars?
All the time. That's white collar, period. It's called white collar crime.
But the people who are doing it are morons.
That's why you got to do it right. And I'm trying to tell you, don't do that. If you're going to do it right.
These are the people that I'm like, let them see what happens.
Yeah.
That's for me. That's what makes me go that way.
If you're going to be, my daddy said,
if you're going to do that,
do it right.
What?
Anything you do it goddamn right. If you're going to go steal some gas from a gas station, don't do it at the same goddamn gas station.
I love the passion that you have for these complete morons that are doing petty crime.
Let me tell you something. Jesus wept.
All the time.
Jesus wept. And yes, he looks after children and fools. And I feel like God put me on this earth to tell them goddamn fools, stop doing stupid shit. I'm a representation of Jesus. And Jesus don't cuss, but I cuss. Break into a house again without gloves and watch what happens. Do another white collar crime. The white collar crime has changed in the state of California. It used to be an automatic 5 to 10 years, depending if you did insurance fraud. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you how to do it.
You might as well.
You'll get 20 years now. They doubled it. It ain't no 5-10 years no more.
The things that fire you up fascinate me.
Dumbass criminals that make it bad. Like, I feel like if you do white collar crime.
Dumbass criminals. And then also people.
Learn how to money launder and leave it alone. Okay, like the little casino man. He was an old Italian mobster. I forgot his name, but I love the story. He was the first person to rob Vegas out of $45 million. He ended up becoming an informant for the feds and come up with an invention to show casinos how to teach people from stealing from their slots.
You know, when you asked me when you came over today and you were like, what's the job that I should...
Yeah.
What's my backup job?
Yeah.
That's it.
What?
you committing some crazy crime so well that the government's like, you know what, we gotta hire her as an informant.
Cody, that's the job do that. The police already do that. There's the sheriff. I ain't gonna say what county. Shout out to the sheriffs that watch this show.
I think of you as Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can.
I get that all the time, but I don't do crime.
Can I be your Tom Hanks?
You can, but I don't do crime. That's the thing. If I trust me, let me tell you something about me.
Well, somebody's got to start committing crime then.
If I ever do white collar crime, and I promise you, I got to be doing bad, like.
Yeah.
You understand me? Like, let's say depending.
Because white collar crime is prison.
Out here in California, it's bad. Like, you get 20 years, and on good behavior, you're going to do 10. It used to be 5 to 10.
How much you get for murder?
First time, depending on the murder and depending on the state.
California.
15? Depending on what kind of murder. Was it mayhem?
Mayhem.
Do you know what mayhem is? Stabbing somebody in the eye.
For 2 hours.
Stabbing somebody in the eyes.
Okay, so like crazy murder.
That's mayhem. That's life without the possibility of parole.
Okay, got it.
Dismembering the body is a form of mayhem. Look it up. Look at forms of mayhem.
Let's see here.
Murder ain't just murder. You could shoot somebody in the head once. That could be an automatic life for 40 years or 60 years without the possibility, with possibility of parole. Like the lady the Yolanda who
career opportunities in murder and mayhem.
Yeah. Because people want to understand the mind of a sick fuck.
Yeah.
Mayhem is the dark. It's like sadomasochistic people is just as close as to getting to mayhem. As murder ain't murder. There's different types of murder. Like, look at the lady who killed Selena. She's eligible for parole March 30th, 2025. You understand what I'm saying? Don't mean she's going to get it.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But murder ain't all murder. Like, you could accidentally kill somebody.
Yeah.
That don't mean you're going to get life. You could probably get 10 years for that.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Or if you that mentally, like not bringing up that lady that you killed her kids back in the day and it was a big thing. She, like Diane Downs. That's a sick bitch. Remember when she said that this black guy robbed him on a dirt road and she shot herself in the arm? And yeah, Diane Downs, and she killed one of her kids. One of them got cerebral palsy from the bullet. And she was screwing the mailman and got pregnant by him, and she killed her kids because she wanted to be with the mail. No, she was the mail lady going around sexing up all the people on her route. Wow. Diane Downs. It was a big story in the 80s. That bitch was in a hatchback. God forgive me for bringing up that.
She was in a hatchback?
That bitch was in a hatchback. And the way you got her. Yes. Her interview on how she smiles every time. That's a sick bitch. Who smiles about killing their kids?
Wow.
And then her daughter reached out. She found out
That's
who her
daughter?
mom. Yeah, she found out she was the one. That was the one when she was sexing up her purse on her. Oh, that's the lady that she was famous for killing all the babies she adopted. First. No, she got caught up. Let me tell you, she could have got away, but she had Munchausen by proxy. Right, the lady at the top. Mm-hmm. Before we get to Diane Downs,
right? Go
up real quick. This was an HBO special done on her. She had Munchausen by proxy, and every baby she had allegedly died of SIDS. So she developed Munchausen by proxy. That's where that came from, where she was suffocating the babies for sympathy. Well, you know, I gotta bury my. It's on. What was that? Dr. Michael Biden. This was back in the 90s. Dr. Michael Biden, when he always the big autopsy, Mr. Yeah, that's an HBO special done on her. She always was suffocating. So she adopted that one black baby. They was like, oh, we'll go on and adopt. She killed that little black baby, died the same way, and that's how the baby got caught up. Now, she was a mail lady, and she was sexing up everybody on her route. That young lady is the child, the product of her sexing people up in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And she was adopted. When she realized who her mother was, she was a 27-year-old divorcee who just moved to Oregon. Her relationship with her high school sweetheart, ex-husband Steve Downs, soured. And she packed up her 3 kids, moved from their old home in Arizona, and she became a postal carrier. Remember I told you she was a post office? And she was sexing, dropping that satchel, sexing everybody up. And she wanted a baby. And she wanted to be with that man, and he didn't want her after she killed her kids. And watch, you should see the interview on how Sheila was laughing. And the guy, he came behind me, and I said, get your hand off me. And shot me in my arm and shot my kids. It was like, it was sick. It was sick how she was doing the interviews. She always had a smile. She loved being famous. Look at that smile. And she was pregnant in that photo. Sick fuck. Look, there she goes. Her daughter like a cowboy. Wow. Oh, Lord bless her heart. Look at the sick ass bitch, man.
The first story Diane Downs told authorities was she stopped to pick up a hitchhiker with her 3 kids sleeping in the back seat. According to Downs, this shaggy-haired assailant shot her 3 kids, shot her in the arm, and tried to wrestle the keys away from her. Downs said she hopped in the car and rushed to the hospital. In the interview, Diane Downs sounded eerily calm and collected. She never cried, and the surgeon remembers she remarked about the state of her new car. Further, what mother in her right mind takes their kids out late at night down an abandoned road and then stops their car to see what a random hitchhiker wants, even in the 1980s? The story ravaged local and state headlines per Diana Downs' story. There was a madman on the loose. In the early 1980s, multiple serial killers and kidnappers were known to be active. The town was panicked and a manhunt was underway. As the search went on, with neither a suspect nor a weapon, detectives started looking at Downs. Detectives noticed holes in Downs' story throughout their interviews with her. Downs had time to wrap her arm before going to the hospital. When detectives asked Downs to do a reenactment, she was giddy, not upset by having to relive the night her children were killed, critically injured.
And she nearsighted. Look at her eyes close together.
Damn.
Look at that shit. All them goddamn killers' eyes close together.
Detectives then searched Downs' apartment. While they hunted for evidence, Downs held a news conference asking the public to come forward if they had information. Detectives found love letters to a new flame, but no other evidence at the time. The diary was considered motive since Downs' love interest didn't want children. What really did Downs in was an interview with Ann Jagger. Her story crumbled and national sympathy turned against her. She had no regard for her children, appeared incredibly self-centered, and scarily glib about the ordeal.
Oh, she was smiling.
After the interview, any sympathy that was left for Downs vanished. Police eyed her as their prime suspect. Finally, Christy Downs came out of her coma after suffering a stroke from her injuries. When asked if she remembered the man who allegedly shot her, she told detectives no. Nurses also noted her vitals would spike when her mother, Diane Downs, entered the room. During the Jagger interview, Downs announced she was pregnant again. She claimed it was because she missed her kids in a creepily cheerful voice. It didn't save Downs from being arrested for murder and attempted murder. Downs hoped her pregnancy would garner sympathy during her trial. It didn't. The sympathy went to the prosecution's star witness, Christine Downs, who identified her mother on the stand as the woman who shot her. Downs was sentenced to life in prison plus 50 years.
Now that's when we talk about types of murder. Now that's the type you get life. Every murder ain't gonna get a life sentence.
3 years after being sentenced, Diane Downs escaped prison. She was caught a week later and moved to a more secure facility. She tried 3 more times to escape. She was denied parole in 2008 and again in 2010. She will be eligible for parole again this year. She's arguing COVID-19 should be a factor in her next hearing. Damn. 3 of her children, including the one she had while on trial, are still alive today. Christy and Danielle were adopted by the Oregon prosecutor who tried Diane Downs. Wow.
There you go, girl.
Becky, the girl she had while on trial, was adopted by another Oregon family. Christy is married with a family of her own. She still lives in Oregon and had a speech impediment from the night her mother shot her. Wow.
Oh, God. God
Daniel works with computers and is still paralyzed from the waist down. While Christy and Daniel led private lives, Becky has written a book and spoken out about her feelings about her biological mother, Diane Downs. She is active on Facebook and appeared on 2020. She works with children who have behavioral problems and has a family of her own.
Well,
that's wild.
Oh, yeah. She found her mother reading a book at a library when she was a kid about murder. She had a thing with murders. That's how she found out who her mother was. And when her adopted mother saw her reading books about it, because they wrote a book about that murder.
Yeah.
Snatched it up from her ass, and that's when like her antennas started going up. And when she got grown, she knew she was adopted. She was like, well, maybe she acted like that because it was prevalent back when we were younger. That story, Diane Downs. I mean, crazy. I don't know. I was an unsolved mysteries type of kid. I stayed in that Robert Stack, old G-Man. They used to call him G-Man back then. They used to do FBI files in the 50s. They called him G-Man. He come out the shadows in a trench coat. Robert Stack.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
G-Man. He was G-Man first before he was the Unsolved Mysteries man. G-Man. Well, we called him G-Man. I think it was a hood thing, I guess, or a country thing, but I called him G-Man. Everybody did too. Yeah, look at G-Man. When he was
there he is.
Yeah, they called him G-Man. Look, they called him G-Man too.
Where's G-Man? Oh.
You made a game of him, G-Man, off of Robert Stack.
Wow, Robert Stack. Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, Unsolved Mysteries is the shit.
That's
Okay?
wild.
One day we could talk about that one day. We could talk about some Unsolved Mysteries one day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll have a list. Next week we'll talk about a couple of them.
We can do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well, this podcast has been about the life and times of serial killers.
Organized crime and self-deletion and racial.
And let me tell you one thing.
Yes.
If you are out there committing crimes, doing it incorrectly, Grace is going to find your ass and whoop it.
You cannot rob a bank. Do not do that.